Welcome back. Creating pathways for our veterans to reclaim their lives is the purpose, at least one of them, of the Black Ravens Foundation. With us today, our founder and CEO, Adam Schwartz and Jesse Schwartz. Welcome. Explain what Two Black Ravens is, if you could put it in the thumbnail.
Well, we're a platinum-rated nonprofit that helps wounded, injured, and ill service members and veterans process their trauma and their thoughts and feelings surrounding that trauma through the use of art.
Okay, and right away then that moves into the second question, which is, how is what you do different than other organizations that are out there that are going, yes, we work with the veterans, the VA, and how is it different?
Well, we actually incentivize healing. A lot of organizations, the VA, DOD, they kind of incentivize the veterans or the service members remaining in their trauma, whether it's using art and displaying art and kind of exploiting the combat scenarios through that use, kind of keeps those veterans inside that. Whereas we try to incentivize the healing process and the trauma moving forward, and then seeing the beauty and using it based off of merit and skill-based.
Let me ask then, how well have you, why did you go into art? You know, to use that as maybe a medium of healing. I mean, there are other ways. Why art?
Well, I've been an artist my whole life. And so when I retired out of the military, I built my studio and went back into focusing on my art. And then when Adam retired from the military, he was looking for something to do. And at the time, he was kind of lost, and so he went ahead and decided he wanted to get into photography so that he could take images of my pieces and help me through, you know, getting prints and that type of thing. And that's how he got started into photography.
So when you say art, see, the first thing that I jump is, I can't paint, but art encompasses so many different things, I would imagine.
Right.
Yeah, our art is the oldest form of communication, even before written word.
What have you found in the Ravens mission? What have you found? How does it affect the veterans? Because we're talking about across the board, not just one type of veteran.
No, we help everybody. So if it's sexual assault survivors, if it's a parent who lost a child, if it's cancer diagnosis, or if it's combat related, everybody's got process that they have trauma that they have to process and get through. And what we do is we use that art to help kind of finish or finalize that cycle of trauma.
Yeah. So it sounded like kind of what you said there. It's not necessarily just the veteran, it's the people that are also affected by the veterans' lives, the families.
Yes. So we want them to actually be able to learn how to communicate, build their emotional intelligence, so they can better articulate their message, their feelings with family, friends, coworkers, and hopefully mental health providers. And that, we think that will actually reduce veteran suicide, which is plaguing the community right now.
That I think most people know, or if they haven't been paying attention, they should know. What do you find? I mean, is there a success ratio that you have here, or is it just a continuing and ongoing kind of work?
Well, I can speak for myself. When I'm in the studio, I get lost in what I'm doing, and so I'm out of my own head. And that's kind of what we do with these veterans. We bring them in, we teach them, whether it's sculpting, painting, photography, creative writing. There's so many different, music, that type of thing. When they learn those things and they engage in those things, they can get out of their own head, out of their own way.
Right.
And that helps.
Is this also a thing, kind of a group effort where you can realize I'm not alone here?
Correct. It also builds that community outside of the military. So once we're out of the military, we don't necessarily have that same camaraderie where we go into the unit every day. This allows people to kind of rebuild that.
Now, this actually sounds like things that something we can talk for a long time about. But I have to ask, if people want to know more, if people feel they may have talked in circles with other people and they need a different way to look and do things, how do they get in touch? How do they get this information?
Well, the first way is you can go and visit us online at www.twoblackravensfoundation.org. send us a comment or a contact form there. The other way, and probably the best way, is we're actually located at the Galois on the 3rd floor. And in fact, we just started our First Friday Art Walk. It'll be featuring. In fact, he's showing. I'll let him kind of talk about that. But
Okay.
Yeah, so we have a gallery up on the 3rd floor of the Galois that we operate. That is set up for veterans to show. We like to show veterans first.
Right.
And if we can't find a good veteran that wants to show, we'll bring somebody else in. But generally, it's a veteran, and so people can come up there this Friday, actually, on the 4th.
First Friday.
From 6 o'clock to 9 o'clock.
Very good.
I'll have a show up there. It's a single show. The theme is spycraft, and so it's completely different than my usual work that I do.
Right.
And I would encourage people to come up, talk to us, find out what we do, and
Okay, if people want more information, give them the website again, or Facebook, all
yeah,
social media.
and
for us.
Instagram, Facebook, all.
You're out there.
Yep.
Gentlemen, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you.
All right, we'll be back after this.